Hello everyone, Alexander Flores here, and welcome to episode 10 of Creating a Software Company. In this video, we're going to be changing a password, not resetting our password, but changing our password if we know both the old password and what we want our new password to be. So I did one small change here, which is I moved the password validation to its own function because whenever we're going to be changing our password, we want to make sure that we have the same type of validators here. We also have a source, which will be a string, so we could check for sign up if we're doing it through sign up, because we don't want to check the email if we're just changing our password or resetting our password. And then this just simply returns the errors. Okay, so first I'm going to go to the dashboard and I'm going to make a simple form. So the method will be post, the action will be change password. Then we're going to have an input. This will have the type of text and then the name of old dash password. Placeholder will be old password, which will be autofocus and required. So now let's go ahead and make two more for the new password, and we'll call this one just password. Actually, this should be called confirm new. Oh wait, this one should be called confirm new password. So now that we have these, this will be called confirm password. Now we just simply need a submit type equals submit value equals change password. So we're now going to listen to a post request on change password. We're going to do this over here. Router.post request response. And now what I'm doing, one small change I made is we're now storing the sub, which is our username basically, which was that random string we saw in the last video. And so we're storing that into the session. So I could say if not request.session.sub return response.redirect login. And so that way, if they're not logged in, but they're trying to access this endpoint, it redirects them to the login so they can then correctly log in. So now we can go ahead and use this function here to check to see if the new password is going to be valid. So we do notice that we have to pass in the request. And so the request, we're going to be targeting confirm password and also password right here. So that's important that I named these password and confirm password for the new passwords. However, old password is specifically avoiding being named these. So let's simply say const errors equals get password errors, and we're going to pass in request. So I don't need to pass in the second string just because the only thing we're really checking is if it's sign up. Then we're going to reset the, let's see, how did I do it up here? Okay, so we're going to reset the change password errors. And then we're going to just borrow this code from up here. If there are errors, we're going to handle them like this. So we're going to redirect to login, actually dashboard. And then this right here is going to be password and change. So pretty simple compared to it's the exact same thing as what we did beforehand. We're just handling the errors the same way. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and get our user. So we're going to create a variable called user details, and we're going to say the username is equal to request.session.sub, and then pool is user pool. Then we're going to say const cognito user equals new Amazon Cognito identity.cognito user, and we're going to pass in user details. So because we're doing this in the back end, we have to get our users this way. If we were doing this on the front end, which I think that this library is designed to do, then we can do it much easier way. But this is what we have to do. So we're storing the sub right here, and I don't need this right now, so I can delete that. Then I can get rid of that. So we're essentially doing the same thing we're doing right here. And so now we do need to authenticate, but we're not going to authenticate like this by checking the username or password. We're simply going to say cognito user. This has to be a capital U, dot get session. This is going to pass in an error or a session. So we're going to say if there's an error, we're going to log error.message or json.stringify error, and then we're going to return response.redirects to login. Then we're simply going to say, actually, we're going to say error or not session that is valid. So we're doing that so we could redirect here. Clearly, we're not going to really, if there's no error, it's not going to really print out anything that meaningful there, but that's still fine. So now what we're going to do is, now that we know that our session is valid, we're going to say cognito user.change password. And this takes the old password, which is under request.body, old-password, which is the name and the form. And then we need the new password, which is going to be request.body.password. Then we're going to have an error and a data as our callback. We're going to say if there's errors, we're going to simply do something like this. And then we can also say console.log data and then response.redirect back to the dashboard. So let's save this. Let's try logging in. Okay, so there's that. And then, okay, so we're logged in. This is my current password. And because I've been changing it back and forth with the video pause, so I'm not sure if this is the last thing you saw, but this is the current password. Now our new password, we're simply going to add 1 to the end of it and then change password. And we see success, which is printed out from data right here. And we also got redirected here. Okay, so let's try logging in, and then that logs in correctly. So now we're able to change our password whenever we want. We don't need this. And so that's it for this video. We're just changing a password when the user knows their old password and they want to change to a new password. In the next video, we're going to be worrying about changing or resetting our existing password because we lost our current password. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.